Hi, good morning. Today is the 29th of May, and we enter into a new chapter in our meditations on grace. We are so in chapter 6, and today I would like to read with you verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we go on sinning so that grace may increase? Shall we go on sinning so that grace may increase? So Paul has been talking to us about justification by faith, about reconciliation. After talking about how Jewish people and non-Jewish people were lost and needed grace, he started talking about justification by faith and reconciliation from the chapter 3, verse 21, up to yesterday, up to the end of chapter 5. And then he was telling us how grace increased where sin had abounded. Where there were lots of sin, grace was increasing. So we might think that if grace increases and grace even reigns, as he said in chapter 5, verse 21, so we will keep on sinning, we'll keep on doing the wrong things we were doing before, because grace will increase anyway. But if we have that sort of thinking, it's because we haven't understood the real power of grace. And that's what he's going to explain in chapter 6. The real power of grace, how grace works. A pastor used to offer people money before his sermons. Of course, he did it in different churches. Every time he went to another church to preach, he did that, where people didn't know him, because it's like telling a joke that people already know. I mean, it's not very fun, is it, when people know the joke? I mean, know the answer to your joke. So he offered money to people before the sermon, and there were about three different groups of people, three different reactions to his offer. So he offered, let's say, 20 pounds. And he said, if you'd like, I've got 20 pounds here for you. You can just come forward and get it, and it's free. So the first group of people would think that that was a trick. I mean, it's too easy just to offer us 20 pounds on a Sunday service in the morning, and 20 pounds for a pastor might be a lot of money. So they didn't go because they thought it was a trick. The second group wanted that 20 pounds, but they didn't go because of shame. They thought, what are people going to say if we go there to get the 20 pounds? They would think that we haven't got money to feed my family. So they didn't go. The third group didn't go because they had 2 million pounds in their account. They had lots of money in their account, so they didn't need 20 pounds. And they also knew that people would say, wow, look at Mr. Smith. He's got 2 million pounds in his account, and he still wants the 20 pounds from the pastor. Shame on him. Shame on Mr. Smith. Lots of people react like that when they hear about the message of grace. And that's what was happening in the Roman church. Because Paul in this chapter 6 is going to repeat their questions. And then he's going to answer them. You might think that it's too easy. We believe in a God that gave himself for us. As I said in one of the first messages, that in those days I didn't have any message in English. It was made in French and in Portuguese. But we understand that in the Old Testament, that grace is when God comes down to us. When a bigger person bends down to listen or to help a person who is below. And I was telling you the story that I read somewhere about the Queen. When she becomes a queen, the Queen of England, even her family will bow down to her. But if she's walking Buckingham Palace in her garden or in Windsor Castle, and she sees this gardener and she bows to the gardener, that's grace. So God came down to us, died on the cross for us. And then someone comes and tells me that that person dying on the cross is the Son of God who is dying for us. And you say, you say that's a trick. It can't be true. How can it be true that God is dying on the cross for me? It's not true. C'est pas possible. And then some other people will say, what? You want me to follow a man who died on the cross? Can you imagine? You know that today people are being persecuted because they follow the one on the cross. That is not on the cross anymore, of course. He's risen. But who would like to follow a God that is capable of putting his son on the cross? No, I can't. There's lots of shame involved. I can't do that. And then some other people will say, well, I don't need him. Why would I need a crucified God? I don't need him. I've got £2 million, dollars, euros in my account. I'm a good person. I'm a religious person. I've got all I need. I don't need God. This could be the three reactions to grace. But every time people react like that is because they haven't understood. They don't know what they are missing there. In Portuguese, in my mother tongue, we have got an expression. It could be a very local expression as well. It could be just an expression from my state. I come from the state of Rio because I realized when I left Brazil that some of my Portuguese was actually local Portuguese. You know how it works in a country so big like Brazil. But we have an expression when we say, crocodile, come out of this mud. You know, when people live in mud and they don't realize they live in mud, and you say to them, crocodile, just come out of this mud. Jesus took us off, set us free from that mud. Why would we go back to it? That's what Paul is going to say in Romans chapter 6. You were in prison and God set you free. Why would you like to go back to that life? You were in hell and God took you from there, set you free from death. Why would you go back? God bless you.